Hey, it's the Chubby Bartender Podcast with your host, Jason Gillum and Chad Reynolds. With a special guest each week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I'm up here. I ain't had a cigarette
in a long time.
You don't know how long.
I haven't had one since you was here.
That's what I look forward to coming up here. Now, isn't that awful?
Oh man, it ain't the camaraderie.
Well, it is.
I mean, gee whiz.
I mean, it's that too. But like, I kind of am like, well, I mean, if we're going to be up there doing this, I mean, I can smoke me a cigarette.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
When in Rome.
Yeah.
Well, we got some guys to thank. Who do we got to thank first?
Well, I mean, I saw
you see a group text today.
I did. And I think that it's great to see. I want to thank the Chubbies first for going and helping out our guy. Man.
Yeah, you know who we're going to thank us.
Yeah, I mean, and those that listen. I mean, hey, we started talking about the McDonald's app on here. What? I mean, it's been months ago.
It's been a little bit, yeah.
And now we're starting to get pictures and texts.
All the time.
Of somebody sitting there waiting on their order using the app. And now, I noticed some points being shared.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what I would love to see, I mean, let's flood the internet with how many points you got.
That's what I want to see.
Because I had used some, and right now, hey, I got 7,900 points in there.
Oh, man, you guys have been at it.
That makes me feel good.
Yeah, you've been at it.
Yeah.
Wow. Jimmy had 13,000.
I saw it.
I said, that's a true chubby right there.
Yeah.
On the McDonald's
So explain
app.
this app to me.
Okay, so the McDonald's in Jackson, folks, okay, they've got this right there. You can order from wherever, okay, and so it puts in your order, and then you got to leave the app open, okay, so you can do it from your house. I know where you live. You live almost Oak Hill, or halfway. So you could type that in at your house, and like all your deals are there. You get special deals on the app. They'll say, okay, free large fry or whatever. So you just order, and then it tells whenever you're pulling the like it'll pick you up about Rapid Mortgage by Eddie's office right there.
I mean, less than a mile.
Oh yeah.
Way
less. Yeah. It used to pick me up right there at Wits whenever I'd come down from here on, or it still does.
Yeah.
So. It'll say, "Are you here?" Just real nice and polite.
Yeah.
And then you just punch in your parking spot, and they just bring it to you.
Is that an effort to keep Main Street clear on a Saturday morning?
It should be.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Joe,
I almost hate it that we're putting this out there too much because
parking spots are busy.
Yeah, because now they're starting to get busy.
Well, you know what you do. They know in there.
Well, see, I pulled down to number 1, which is supposed to be a pull-off area for their drive-through.
Doesn't matter.
And I put in 1.
And they'll bring it to you.
They brought it.
Yeah, they know.
Now, what I'm worried about is what if all of them are full?
What I want to know is how come mine doesn't have any more signs.
Yes.
Mine?
Yeah,
we've already
put more
filled
out there.
Mine. We've already filled your parking lot once.
And while we're here, I mean, okay, let's thank Brad and Sarah Munn.
We're going to thank the Munns.
Yeah, I mean,
Jackson,
McDonald's,
Wellston, Oak Hill, MacArthur. We can't thank you enough, Munns, and you apparently can't thank us enough, Brad and Sarah. So we thank you, Munns.
Yeah, we do
appreciate
thank you.
If you see the Munns, thank them. Who else we
They're
got?
proud sponsor. Hey, let's talk a little bit about earning the day.
Well, by God, I've been doing it.
And that's why I want to talk to you about it. How's it going?
What a thing this is. I mean, this AP Prep. Yeah. And if you're curious about them, look at apprep.info. The system, I was telling Snyder the other day, I said the system from the parking lot through the front, everything about this thing is seamless.
Yeah. From start to finish.
Start to finish. You don't have to take any cash. You ain't got a pocket full of nothing. They've got they just keep my credit card on file. I walk in there. They mark me down. Me and Gibson, boom, we go in there. Workout starts. There's no G-haul. Great. Great.
And in an hour or half hour or whatever, you're done.
You're an hour. Yeah.
Okay, so for 60 minutes, so you don't have to think about anything else.
Your phone's not. You can't have your phone on you.
No.
So you're going to put your phone on the shelf. You're going to earn it.
Yeah.
I mean, hey man, I'm still from Monday. Today's Thursday. From Monday, my shoulders and stuff are still. I can still tell. I mean, it's
That's
just
awesome.
It's an incredible workout.
Are you doing that once a week?
Once a week.
Once a week. That's good. And so's Gib.
And so is Gibson. Yep.
That's awesome.
And Gibson's prime example. Gibson's a kid that plays sports. Okay, we're not doing this for sports. You know that. We're doing this simply activity.
Yeah.
It's really fun father-son stuff. So like Gibson and I can, we drive to Chillicothe together.
Oh yeah.
He loves getting a Diet Coke whenever we're done. So
Sure.
you know what? He drinks one a week. We're going to go get a Diet
we'll be
Coke.
all right.
Yeah, we're going to be good. So he does that. He sees me over there working out,
Sure.
which is better than laying on the couch drinking beer.
Sure, absolutely.
So just good stuff, and I can't say enough good about it. And you know what? We've talked about this several times. Not only can I not say anything but good about it, I've never heard one person in the last 10 years ever say anything bad about it.
That was the thing that I brought to the table. I was like, I there's been a ton of people go use it.
Yep.
Not one time have I ever heard a bad review. Now, how many businesses?
Can you say that about?
Right.
Yeah.
AP Prep, thank you.
Yep, thank you. Look them up, apprep.info. So, and you know who my sparring partner was?
Well, I thought was where we were going to go next because I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
I thought I heard that you and Massey were maybe working together.
We were. I tell
pushing each other.
I tell you, he's done good.
Well,
I
yeah.
tell you, he does that like 3-4 days a week.
Well, dude, it's a lifestyle change for that gentleman.
And
not only is he an unbelievable engineer,
he can throw hands.
Yeah.
He can throw hands.
Yeah, well,
did you ever
had
think?
a bag?
I had on the mitts.
Oh, my goodness.
So we trade
Okay.
off mitts, and so he was my partner.
Yeah.
And
I bet you two gathered a little more respect for one another.
We did.
We did.
And,
When's the next charity boxing match?
I told him.
I'm going to start promoting it right now. Let's, Pudge versus Massey in the ring, 3 rounds.
I told Massey.
Or the cage.
I said, let's get us some headgear and start sparring.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, you know how that goes. Somebody gets pissed off. I said, I'm past all that. Are you.
Yeah.
I said, come on.
Neither one of you are.
No.
Until somebody gets dotted in the nose. Then everything goes to hell. But
I tell you, he did a good job. It was fun working out. I had a great time.
Hey, just like he does at Geiger Brothers.
Yes, Constructions, 740-286-0800. Looking up at GeigerBrothersConstruction.com, and you'll see what a guy like Scott Massey is capable of doing in the workforce. So
they're the best.
They're the best.
I mean, if you need something built, you need some engineering solutions.
Yep,
the best.
So, and I told him, if he kept working hard like that, we were going to have to look at his life insurance rates at Gillum Insurance because his heart rate was sky. Yeah, I could probably get him a cheaper rate.
Yeah.
I'll strike while he's skinny.
Yes, and he'll have it for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I bet he always buys it when
Now's
it's fat.
the time.
Now's the time, Scott.
Yeah,
so give us a call, Gillum Insurance, auto, home, farm, life, commercial. Hey, we've got all kinds of stuff to offer down there right now. We'll review your coverage, offer you what we think that you may want to look at. So give us a call, 740-395 740-395-0357 or shoot me an email at jason.
That might have been, by the way, best segue in the history of our show.
It might have been.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that was awesome.
We moved.
Hell,
right
I didn't even know what the hell we were talking about there for 3 or 4 seconds. It's like, oh, well, yeah, he should buy it now. Well, Gillum Insurance. Yeah. I mean, that was phenomenal.
And speaking of pushing yourself to the death, ladies and gentlemen, Jackson, surrounding areas, we have a man. We tried to get both of them, but we've got one man of the 2-man team here, Clay Newman, and this past weekend, you and Matt Jenkins went to Akron, Ohio, and ran a piece. Mm-hmm. You ran 100 miles straight.
We did.
Wow.
The Canal Corridor 100 miler.
Canal Corridor 100 miler. Did you track your elevation?
Yeah.
How many feet?
2,000.
2,000 gain. That's not.
Yeah, it's not much. It's pretty flat actually for that many miles.
Yeah, it's not bad. How did you do this?
How long did it take you, Clay?
It took us 26 hours.
Did you guys run kind of together?
Well, we started together. So it's kind of funny. We started together.
Yeah.
We got separated for about 65 miles, and then we wound up back together again.
Oh my!
Did you even have a clue? Did
No.
you call? Did you text? Nothing.
Well, no, so he wasn't carrying his phone. So
He didn't even carry a phone.
No.
Jenkins ain't earbudding it.
no,
Jenkins just letting the wind fly.
just letting the wind fly.
That's impressive.
Oh, that's monotonous.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah.
that's,
Can you imagine
is it
running
torture?
for 26 hours
With
in
nothing.
a row?
Yeah.
Like, at what point does your brain just kind of shut down, dude?
For me, it was around mile 60. Mile 60, it was just
Okay,
you were
so
just zoning out.
So let's go back.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so you've ran 100 miles. Everybody, that's the main goal here. But when, because I talked to you like 3 weeks ago, or like a month ago,
Yeah.
and at that time you told me that day, I haven't talked to you since, you were going to OU and you were going to run the bike path for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Did you go do that?
I did not do 12. I went and ran 40 miles on the bike path.
Okay.
It took 8 hours to do the 40 miles.
Which you had worked up to that. So take me back. When did you goofballs decide?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay.
when does it enter your head, man? I'll tell you what, we're going to do that 100-miler.
Yeah.
Well, so it's funny because, I mean, you know what? We always run anyway.
You guys are runners. You
So
guys are
we're-
avid runners. You guys are like the runners.
So we typically run 120, 130 miles a month. It's about around Jackson, almost all around Jackson.
120 to 130 miles a month a piece.
Yeah. So
Do you guys do this as a group?
no, sometimes.
But
Me-
you're
Matt-
you're doing this on an app. You're watching each
everybody's
other.
watching on Strava. So Strava is kind of like the Facebook
Okay.
for runners.
Okay.
So and it's funny. So you got,
Richards is on that.
Yep, Richards is on that. Wayne Newsom's on it. His daughter Emma's on it. Everybody in Jackson's on it that runs.
All right.
And so what's funny too is they have these segments in Jackson. And if you run those segments the most, you're the local legend.
Oh, okay.
Well, hell, that's got my name all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So
There
it's
you
fun.
go.
It's
Run
funny.
a segment.
So about September, a
Slowest.
couple of them decided that they were going to I had like, I think there's like 14 of them. And somehow I've managed to scrounge around and get like 8 of them. So I got
Okay.
about half of them in Jackson. And a couple people are going to be pirates, they said, and start stealing people's their
Okay.
segments.
Just go run it.
Yeah. So there's one up here on Broadway. You go down just past the Jackson Implement, down by the railroad tracks down there.
Yeah.
And it's coming up this hill. To the,
Okay, that's a hill.
Yep, almost, and just over the top is the segment. And so someone took my segment from me there. It's Jenkins.
Okay.
His boy was and they had junior high his football down there, practice down there at the park.
Okay.
He'd run that hill while his boy was practicing.
Okay.
So I got up one morning at like 4:30 in the morning and just kept running up and down that hill, like 6 miles. Run up and down the hill to get my segment back.
Okay.
But it's fun. It's fun though, having all those segments.
Yeah,
It keeps
yeah,
people keep people motivated.
You guys have always done and
Yeah.
you've had guys like me that's maybe faded in and out a little bit. That
We've talked about that before. Like, there's been a lot of different runners in Jackson
Yeah.
that came and gone over the past 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
You'll see them come and go.
Yeah, Turner.
Yep.
Turner's another.
Shout out Mike Turner.
Yeah.
Hit the street, buddy.
Yeah, he's a fellow chubby. He was on the show early.
Oh, yeah.
But
yes.
I think it was 2012. He decided that he was going to be a runner.
Uh-huh.
And he's got, in that 1 year, he won some 5Ks.
Oh, yeah.
He had a really fast half marathon time. Had a really fast full marathon time.
He run a full?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yep. Me and him and Jenkins, and then Tom Curtis ran the half that year.
Oh, I remember that.
Yep,
I
that same
remember
year, a whole
Tommy
bunch
did that.
of us ran up there in Columbus, and actually that race is this weekend.
Is it?
Yeah.
Turner's a pizza away from obesity, though, bud. He's just like me. Turner will go through stages. Me and him, we could be the fattest that we've ever been, or we could be the smallest we've ever been. It don't matter.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'll pull us back in here. To this.
Yeah.
So you guys
So-
are doing Strava.
So I think it was about June. Jason Holzapfel said,
Just 4 months ago.
"Hey, I signed up for this 100-miler," and then Matt signed up for the 100-miler. I said, "Well, I don't feel like doing a 100-miler. I'm going to do it. I'll pace you guys for 50 miles of it. I'll do that." And
Okay, so what's that mean?
So basically, you can get someone to tag along with you to encourage you, keep pulling you along.
Yeah.
So, but they can do it only after 50 miles at that race.
After.
After 50, you can get a pacer.
So you can't the first 50. Which you guys do 50. Like
Yeah, we do
You
50.
knew you could do 50.
Yeah. And so But then I thought, well, why am I going to do 50 and let them get the 100? So I'll sign up for the 100. So I signed up for it too.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I think Jason just got so busy selling the stores and stuff. He just didn't get the training like he wanted to, and he didn't feel like he was ready. So
he's the type of guy. He'll do it.
Yeah.
It would surprise me none if he didn't sign up for the next one since you guys did it. He'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still think he could have done it.
Okay, so you sign up in June.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
When do you say training's on?
For me, it was around early August. I said I got to start putting some miles in August.
Okay, and let's talk about the process too. A lot of people out here, they don't run.
A lot of people right here.
Yeah, well, I mean, this guy.
Yeah.
How do you even train? Like, training for a marathon is one thing. 100 miles, dude. Like,
it's 4 marathons.
Like, yeah. So, like, do you, in training, like, how far do you build up? I mean,
so I started. So basically, really didn't train a whole lot more, other than putting in some longer runs.
Okay.
So like I said, for
at that time you were running 25 miles, 40 miles. You could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you doing that once a week or so? Like, I mean, running maybe 20 miles or something? Or?
Every other week, every couple of weeks. So we started increasing those and the frequency of them. So, like, for instance, I say, we're in 120, 130 miles a week normally, or a month.
A month, yeah.
So in August, bumped it up to about 190 miles. And then in September, bumped it up to about 200 miles for the month. Adding in some, and it really was adding in the longer runs.
Yeah.
So like a 40 miler, we did a 30 miler, one Saturday morning. So just adding the longer runs.
So you taking like longer days off, running bigger amounts, or like are you like? Because I saw Jenkins one time. He told me he's like, I'm running every day for the next. He had like a race in like 40 days. He's like, I'm running every day until that race.
Now, I was still running about 5 days a week is about what I run.
Well, now, like when you go out and run like a 30 or 40 miler,
Takes some time.
you've got to rest your body a little bit, don't you? Like, I mean, are you going to then go hit it the next day for 10 or
that's
15?
that's where the training comes in for those longer runs. Is piling on those longer runs day after day.
Oh, okay.
So, like, for instance, 3 weeks out was where I wanted to pound on the most mileage. Mm-hmm. So on a Saturday, I ran. Ran almost 30 miles on a Saturday. Took off Sunday. Did 15 on Monday. Did like 10 on Wednesday, and then I did like another 8 miler on Thursday, and then 40 miles on Saturday. Just to pound the miles in there.
Man, how long does it take to run 40 miles?
7-8 hours.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, how do you work that in your schedule?
That's the tough part.
And you,
like for me, I usually get up and I'm usually out here on the streets by 4:30.
And you eat on the run and stuff. I mean, you like, what do you pack? Like, are you just having like glucose packs?
So
bars
it's
or what?
Funny you say that. So, like if I'm doing a long run, like around here, is we'll set up laps and come back to your car, like maybe every 6-8 miles.
Okay.
Get back to the car.
Okay.
And then at this race, they had these aid stations full aid stations about every 6 or 7 miles. When I say full aid station, they'd have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches,
chairs,
goop packs, chairs, water, Gatorade.
And you would actually stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then how hard is it then to get up out of that chair or whatever?
It's kind of tough.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, the funny thing is with this race, one of the things I did that was really kind of unheard. I wasn't planning on it. Okay. So I was about mile 70. I was struggling pretty bad. Mm-hmm. And the way this race worked, you came back by your car.
Define struggle.
I was throwing up, and I was like on the side of the path. Stomach was all upset, throwing up, cramping up. And so I went to my car, stopped at my car, turned on the air conditioner, chugged me a bunch of Pepto-Bismol. I went to sleep for 25 minutes. Like I laid down, I took a nap for 25 minutes.
And you've never done that before?
No.
Okay.
But it's funny. I woke up, and it was like I never started the race yet. Like I woke up like
fresh,
completely refreshed.
Took off and just.
What was that one girl that she slept for like 30 seconds, and she was running that 100-mile thing. She was on Rogan.
Oh, some of those people do. Yeah,
and like they took like a 30-second this, and they said whenever they woke up, they felt like that, just like you said, like they were just totally ready to go again. So you slept for 25 minutes, and you get out, body's not stiffened up.
Felt good.
Felt good.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that?
I think it was just a second, just long enough for your
Rest,
heart
recover.
rate to get back down, and just
reset.
Yeah.
So what's your heart rate staying at during this race?
So
you got to worry about that.
Well, so actually, when I was watching, I wasn't even watching my pace. I was actually watching my heart rate. So my goal was to keep my heart rate under 140. And so I just watched my heart rate on my watch. As soon as I seen it hit 140, I'd actually stop and walk for a few minutes. I'd get down to about 118 or so. And I just take back off the jog and try to keep it around 130, 135.
Okay.
And that was how I was pacing myself.
Because I mean, you're older than me. You're 40.
41.
Yeah. So
42.
40. So you got to watch getting your heart rate up crazy high.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just can't imagine though the physical shape that your body must be in, though, dude. Like
what's your resting heart rate?
Your resting heart rate, like 1 a minute?
It's usually around 45, 46 is where it's at.
What's average?
45, 46. If I look at my watch and say my average,
what is that? What's normal?
I think in the high 50s.
High 50s.
Yeah. High 50s, low 60s.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So
I don't know what mine is, I can tell you.
And that was what. So when you're training, when you're training for a marathon or even a 5K or whatever, it's a little bit different than this.
Yeah.
So basically, we didn't do any speed work. A lot when I talk about speed work, going to the track and doing sprints and running fast, didn't do any of that. So the whole thing, we were doing long, slow runs. And that was to get your heart conditioned to lower your heart rate.
Okay.
And so that's what I started watching a lot.
Because is that where your energy's expelled?
Yeah, the more blood you're pumping, the higher your heart rate is, the more energy is taken to do all that. So it's just,
so you're conserving energy by keeping your heart rate down.
Yeah.
And how are you providing fuel to your body to do this? Because you have to eat
and drink.
Well,
and that's where the stomach gets upset. There's a lot of work in the. That's where I struggled the most, was keep my stomach from getting upset, because you got to replenish the calories. And
how many did you burn?
18,460.
Holy smoke.
18,460. Your average daily consumption, mine's like, I'm supposed to be at 3,300. Do you know how much you are?
Mine's a little lower than that.
So, I mean, you're eating 6 days, or you're burning up 6-7 days worth of, you probably have to eat now, you probably have to eat 4,000 or 5,000 calories.
Yeah.
Don't you?
I don't even watch it anymore.
Yeah, but I bet you eat whatever you want.
You're burning plenty.
I was when I'm training. Now that I won't be running as many miles, I'm gonna back it down.
Yeah.
Then I'll have to go back to watching what I'm eating.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. But so at those stops, the goal was to try to cram in 400 or so calories, 400 or 500 calories when you hit those stops.
And what is it that you eat, man? I mean, without upsetting your stomach or what?
What was really nice about mile 50, they started having stuff like ramen noodles.
Okay.
See, they just having a cup. You just chug a cup of ramen noodles.
Drink
and
it.
Yeah, just basically drink it down.
Yeah.
And taking the goo packs. So you can get a quick 200 calories out of one of those.
Yeah.
They don't upset your stomach too bad.
Okay.
What do you think upset your stomach?
I wish I knew. Because the last long,
you didn't really do anything different.
No, the last 50K race I did, I had some stomach issues too. I started throwing up and stuff. So I talked to my doctor about that, and I said, "What do we do to get rid of that?" I said, "Quit running more than 30 miles."
Yeah, it's real easy.
Yeah, just don't run 30 miles.
Yeah. Man, I'm having problems with this. I start throwing up about 60 miles, and your doctor's probably like, well, dude.
Yeah.
So what's the most you had ran before going into this race at a time?
50 miles.
50 miles. So you doubled what you had done.
Yeah.
Okay, so you drive. So tell me all about this past week.
Okay.
Okay, so you just did this 5 days ago.
Right.
So last week, did you run it all last week?
I ran 2 days. Just like a 3 mile day on a Thursday and like a 4 mile day on a Tuesday.
What are you doing about shoes?
So I just use the same shoes always. I'm a Nike Pegasus guy.
Okay.
Yeah. I had I just use my same regular shoes, regular socks, take a couple extra pair of shoes just in case something happens.
Yeah.
And
when did you buy this pair of shoes?
I bought them. I've got about 70 miles on them, so just enough they were broke. I tried to time it so they were broke in good, but they weren't worn out yet.
How many miles do you get out of a pair of shoes?
About 400.
Yeah.
So about every 2 to 3 months, I'm switching out.
Yeah.
Shoes. How much are these Nike Pegasus?
About $100.
That's not
They're
bad.
not. They're the cheaper ones on the market.
Have you used like the Sauconys or any of those? The Hokas?
I've got a pair of Hokas. I use those for my mid-distance stuff. They're real cushiony.
Yeah.
So my 6 to 10 mile just runs around town. I wear my Hokas a lot.
Okay.
And then I've got a pair of those Nike, the Vapor Flies. You see them talk about the carbon fiber ones that weigh like nothing. I got a pair of those for like 5Ks and stuff like that.
Okay.
But the Pegasus are the workhorse.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the one I use.
I'd say.
That's the one I use. And
Wow, man. So that week you run twice, just a couple little 5Ks, get loosened up, make sure your feet's not getting,
right.
So then you guys leave Thursday,
Friday. So we get up there Friday afternoon, around 4:00. So, and we get our drop bags together. So drop bags are if you have your own stuff you want. So every so often you can drop these bags off. You have your name and your bib number and stuff on them. You can put in there socks, another pair of shoes, shirts. Now,
did you change clothes?
No. I wanted to at one point, but my feet were hurting so bad. I'm like, I don't want to pull those shoes off and my socks and see my feet. I'm like, I'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
So you can pack whatever food you want in those drop bags. So we get our drop bags together and stuff and take them up there and drop them where they're supposed to go. And check in, get your bib, get your shirt and all that stuff, and then just go get a good dinner.
How many people was in this?
I think just under 200.
Just under 200.
What kind of a dinner are you going to get that night before? I mean, seriously.
Cheese pizza.
Okay.
Nothing too extravagant. Nothing real spicy.
Yeah.
Just
Nothing's
cheese
going to
pizza.
mess up with your stomach at all.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of carbs, probably. Yeah.
Yep. And
You and Jenkins both?
Yep.
Then did you do breakfast too, or?
Yeah. Oatmeal.
Okay.
Did some
Don't they
oatmeal.
give you shits?
Not till mile 19.
Well, you got to factor that in, don't you?
Actually, we did oatmeal because it's the least impactful in your stomach.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is quick calories too.
So let's do this. Let's talk a little bit about the course of the race. Right, you get started. Were you a little nervous before you started?
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of describe. All right, like mile 1 through 20, mile 1 through 50.
Yeah.
And then like at what point do you start saying, "Man, I don't know"? And then I don't know this, but I'm guessing that in order to finish, you probably had to find an amount of grit or something down inside you that you probably didn't even realize that you had.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Could you kind of take us through the cycle of the race and like at what point you start talking to yourself? You know, like that voice in your head. It's like, hey, dude, it'd probably be cool if you just quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, did you fight that at all, or?
I did a little bit.
Could you kind of take us through the course of the race?
Yeah.
Like you're starting, you're a little nervous.
Yes. So we get there. The race starts at 5 a.m.
Oh,
so we have to get up at 3 in the morning.
Okay.
To get there get up, get ready.
Yeah.
Eat something. Enough long time your stomach settle.
Yeah.
Get there about a quarter after 4.
Yeah.
Stretch out a little bit. Yep. We get there. Get lined up right at 5 o'clock. This one, ultra runners are it's a little different than like you go to like some of the marathons, half marathons. They got all the music pumping and all this stuff.
Yeah,
it's not like that.
It's
Real quiet. Everybody just getting focused.
It's going to be a long time.
Yeah. And it was real anticlimactic. Like, you're thinking, again, you go to like the Columbus Marathon, these big races, music, and everybody, what? Fireworks.
Yeah.
No. You literally hear someone up front like, runners ready? Go. Like, okay. All right, let's go. And so.
Well, it's 5 a.m. too.
Yeah. So we all just take off, and this is a kind of a cool course because you just basically got on a bike trail and it was mostly crushed limestone.
Okay.
You went 35 miles south down through Maslin and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then turn around and come right back where you came from to the start line. That's mile 70.
Okay.
Then you go up into Cuyahoga Falls National Park. You got 15 miles the other way. Turn around and come back. So the beauty of it is you get up at mile 85 you don't have a choice. You got to come back anyway. You can't quit because you make it 85. You know you've got it because you got to walk it out.
Right.
Even if you have to.
Right.
So we take off.
15 miles though, Clay.
Oh, I know. Wait till I get to that. Wait till I get to that. That was the hard part.
Okay.
So we take off, and everybody, we're in a big group of people for the first 5 miles because everybody's going kind of at the same pace, except for these.
What pace is that?
There were people about a 10-minute mile.
Well, and I mean that could hurt you too, like trying to run with the
Not
crowd,
knowing.
or like like
Yeah.
I'm certain like at the start there's a little bit of adrenaline.
There is,
and like
there is. You have to watch
kind
it.
of keeping with the pack, and it's kind of like you got to like get in your own head, right?
Yeah,
Like and be like, hey, forget the
We're
pack.
like back off.
Yeah. Okay.
So just to detour a little bit. Like you said, I finished in 26 hours. The winner finished in 13 hours and 40 minutes, almost half the time. Yeah,
Wow.
they're flying.
Wow. Dude.
So yeah, it was amazing watching those folks go. So we take off. We're chugging along, good pace. For Matt and I stayed together for the first 19 miles.
And was it quicker than what you wanted? Probably because
a little bit,
of the rest of the
because
pack?
we kept telling ourselves we should be going slower than what we're going.
Okay.
You and Matt's telling each other that.
Yeah, because we kept looking. It felt good though.
Right.
It felt good, and it was like I'd look and the watch would tick over
An hour in.
10 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm like, it's too fast. We were trying to stay around an 11-minute pace.
Yeah.
And so we did that for about 19 miles until we got to our first big stop with our drop bags and stuff.
Okay.
So we got some snacks and stuff like that, got something to eat. And then I was taking a little bit longer than Matt. He's like, I'm feeling good. I'm taking off. And so I went to the bathroom and stuff like that, and I take off, and I'm doing fine. I get down close to turnaround, mile 35.
So you lose Jenkins.
I lose Jenkins. Can't see him anymore. He took off. But he'd already hit the 35-mile turnaround. And I was about a mile. So you got about 2 miles on me by the time I got mile 35. And there was a stop at about mile 40. And I started feeling, wasn't feeling great. So I stopped there for a minute, laid down in the grass, got a little bit big, got some Mountain Dew actually. Mountain Dew and some crackers and stuff. That's when my stomach started getting upset.
Yeah.
Like really getting upset.
I think we've solved the problem though.
Yeah.
No, just
Well, but why would you drink water?
Oh, I was drinking water too. I kept the water in a handheld.
Need some caffeine.
I want some sugar.
Sugar and caffeine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So chugged along. Mile 50 I hit mile 50, and it was rough. That's when I started hitting the ramen noodles, and I sat down for a while. I'm like, oh, this isn't good. Made it to about mile 65.
Yeah.
That's when I started throwing up a little bit.
Okay.
Then got to mile 70, which was the pull in to where you were started at. That's when I said, I'm taking a nap. And Andy Beth,
right
so I had my phone with me, and it was so kind of cool. I was kind of running along, and there's Andy Best out of nowhere. He's like on the bike.
Shout out Andy Best.
Shout out Andy Best.
Andy.
He was a trooper.
Did you see what he did?
This guy was a trooper, man.
Yeah.
He got less sleep than we did.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was going from stop to stop to stop all the way down through there.
Yeah.
You said he probably had in 50 miles just on foot.
He was all over the place. Yeah. He would walk about mile 69. I found him. He walked out looking for me, and I was just jogging along. He's like, "Hey, let's walk in." I'm like, all right. So Andy and I was walking in.
Yeah.
He said, I got there. So I'm taking off. I'm going back down. I'm going to find Matt. And so that's when I go to my car and take a nap. And this is where I messed it. He said, text me when you leave so we know you're still good.
Yeah.
And so I wake up and I felt fresh. I took off. And I just started passing runners. I probably, the next 15 miles, I'll probably pass 30 to 35 runners. My pace picked up. I felt fresh.
Yeah.
And I never texted him. And I got to 85 is to turn around to come back, and they're standing Matt and Andy. Like I caught him. I finally caught up with Matt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey guys. And they're like, what are you doing here?
They were worried about you.
I'm like, and then at that point,
How long had they been there?
he literally just got there.
Just got there.
Because I kept
So
running.
Jenkins had slowed down at some point.
He started having some issues with his quads pretty bad. His
Okay.
quads locked up on him. So
I had talked to him. You know.
I kept waiting to pass him.
So mile 85.
All right,
You run into Jenkins.
so I run into Jenkins. He just got
Best.
there, and Best.
He just got there.
And I was feeling good. But then,
Yeah,
I was in that zone.
You're feeling pretty good at that point.
I was in a zone.
And you got to be thinking, man, I just did 85.
Yeah.
I got 15.
Well,
left.
so Matt looks at me. I said, "Are you able to run?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, let's walk this thing in together."
Okay.
So mile 85, 15 miles to go. We're cruising along at about a 20-minute per mile pace. We're just walking
4
along.
mile an hour.
3 mile an hour. 3 mile an hour.
Okay.
And
So you got 5 hours of walking.
yes, took us 5 hours.
So you're at what? So what? You're at.
So this was about, let me see. So go back. We finished at 7 in the morning. Yeah, about 2 a.m. We meet up. We said we're just going to walk this thing back home.
Okay.
And so, and you're on a nature trail, 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And there's other runners out there, and we're
Can't
still
see
you got
still
lights.
headlamps. Yep. Yeah.
You pick that up at a certain marker, probably.
Well, the funny thing
Were
was,
people like straggling at this point, or was there still a pretty big pack?
there was still a pretty good pack of people.
Okay.
And
You're not even showing up though if you're not somewhat ready.
Well, yeah.
there was a person. So as we were finishing, there was a woman. This is grit.
Okay.
There was a woman that had just passed the 70-mile mark at 26 hours.
Oh my.
And she said, "I'm finishing this thing." 5:56 p.m. So almost 37 hours after it started, she crossed the finish line.
They wait on her
I think everything was torn down, but they knew someone was there when she finished.
when she finished.
Yeah.
God
She
bless her,
finished.
bud. I'll tell you
That's
yeah.
some grit.
Yeah.
She
Wow.
she had 2 of those hiking sticks,
Yeah.
those poles, and she
just
said, "I'm just
walked
going
it.
to
Yeah.
walk it
Now,
out."
I've been around Jenkins for a long time. You know, I mean, most of our lives. And whenever I saw that film of him walking across the finish line,
Yeah.
I could tell my buddy Matt was hurt.
It was a rough time. It was a rough time.
I texted him whenever I said, "Damn!" I said, "I'm impressed, dude." Because I mean, I know Jenkins is tougher than hell, and I know if he was all banged up, and you
Well,
know,
I mean, my God, man. 26 hours in a row, 100
what happened to
miles.
his quads?
Who knows? I mean, that's what's funny. When you get that kind of distance, you can't predict what's going to go wrong.
Is he good now?
He's pretty good now. Yep, he's doing good.
He sent me a picture of his feet.
How long did it take you guys? All right, wait a minute. You're in Akron. All right. You crossed the finish line. Did you guys go back to a hotel
Yep,
and
went back to
sleep
the-
for a
Did
while?
you
or-
guys drive separate?
Yeah,
I thought
Yeah.
sounded like you did from talking to
yeah.
Matt.
We went back to the hotel, we got in bed by 8, slept till about 10:30. So about 2.5 hours.
So Saturday morning you start at 5 a.m.
Yeah,
You finish at about 7
yeah,
a.m. on Sunday.
yeah.
So then you're back to the hotel by 8 a.m. You're in bed. And then you stay until you just sleep till
Slept till 10:30.
that night.
No, that morning. 2.5 hours.
Okay.
So I got 2.5 hours sleep.
And then you had to check out.
Got up, showered, checked out. Yeah,
Okay, so then now did you drive home?
yeah.
You drove.
We drove separate, so each had to drive home. It took about 20 minutes to get from that hotel room to the parking lot to get to the car. Just
How the hell do
hobbling
you
along.
drive?
How? Yeah.
I mean, were you having muscle spasms
Yeah,
and stuff?
I
dude?
had my
talk
seat back about as far as I could.
Let's
get the
talk
cruise
about
set.
let's talk about how your body felt when you woke up at 10:30.
It was rough. I mean, it was getting up. It was getting up, and just like trying to get out of bed was the hard part.
Was
Have
you
you
stiff?
ever-
Was you sore? Was
Really stiff and sore.
Well, and probably just extraordinarily exhausted and tired. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, has your body ever felt that stage of exhaustion?
I've been that tired one other time.
Okay.
I remember in my 20s, I stayed up like 48 hours one time.
Okay.
And that was pretty tired then.
Okay.
But as far as just sore, stiff, just exhausted, yeah. that was the worst.
Were you cramping or anything? Like,
Surprisingly not, because I stayed pretty ahead of myself on the electrolytes. So every stop I
You
was
were
taking
really-
these electrolyte
okay.
pills and stuff like that, and grabbing bananas and stuff like that
Yeah.
to keep the muscles from cramping up.
you had to take all that, or they have that for
They
you?
had it there for you.
How much does this cost race to enter?
I think it was about
Or race car.
$150. Yeah.
but like the drive back to Jackson, I mean,
So-
that's every
so
bit of a 4-hour drive, dude. right?
A little over 3.
3.5.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's about 3.5.
That's a long ride. I've made it several times, but not after running 100 miles.
I stopped a couple times just to get out.
Walk around.
Just walk around
bit.
the car a couple times, and then.
Were you hydrating the entire time? I mean,
Yeah.
like just trying to get water and Gatorade in you or something. I mean,
Yeah.
I just can't imagine the tax on your body.
Yeah, like,
But
I feel
like
like, is
tank.
this safe, Clay? Like,
depends on who you ask.
I say no.
My doctor didn't think it was very safe. My wife didn't think it was very safe.
Yeah.
But like right now, I feel pretty good now. I mean, I'm still swollen. My calves are swollen still.
How long did it take? That was going to be my next question.
I've not tried to run yet. I mean, 'cause I'm still pretty stiff, like in my hips and my calves.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till Monday, and then start back at it.
How long did you take off work for a few days, man?
No, actually, I was back in my car heading to Marion Monday morning. That was
You're
rough
savage,
drive.
dude. You're savage.
That was rough.
Yeah. That's got to be crazy.
I was out of bed at 5.
Well, Jenkins
And on
lucked
the way
out.
to
He's a damn banker.
Yeah.
He was closed Monday.
Well, he went on vacation. But he had that 6-hour drive to Gatlinburg Monday. He had to deal with.
Okay, so, I mean, what's next? Like, why would you start running Monday?
Because if I can pull off a good 15-miler Saturday, I want to do a marathon the second week of November down in Huntington.
Oh my God! So you're going to go right to training for a marathon, which really the training's already booked.
Well,
dude.
that's funny you say
mean,
that. That's why I thought this is almost like a freebie. I've already got all the hard work done.
Yeah, right.
I just got to get some speed work in to get my time down for a marathon. So I thought I'll do that, and then we'll all start grouping up for the $150 race in April.
Yeah. That doesn't sound horrible, the $150.
Now,
Well, compared, so we do ours a little different. We're a 5-man team that we do instead of the 10-man teams. We're all getting about 30 miles in.
all right. So Clay, all right, you've run 100 miles now. Okay. I mean, as a runner, like, really, that's kind of the pinnacle, right? Or what's next?
That's as far as it gets for me.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. So like, and you're not probably looking to run it next year. Would you do it again?
Well, it's funny. So someone asked me that Sunday.
Okay.
I said, no way.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone asked me that Monday. I said, give me a week to think about it.
Yeah. Here we are on Thursday.
The Thursday, I'm like, they posted they've already said the dates for next year. I'm like, maybe.
You're to a maybe.
Who was the oldest that did it? Or what was the oldest?
I don't know. There were some older folks there I seen.
Like 60, 70?
I'd say, yeah, every bit of it.
I know there's some 60 and 70-year-olds.
I mean, the thing I said, I'm astonished. It's like, all right, man, 100 miles. Like, what's next? Do you start like doing the obstacle course racing or something that?
This is.
I'm too much of a purist for that.
Okay, you're not doing that.
You guys that do them like that,
Yeah,
you're
these
not
guys are
obstacle
runners,
course guys.
nah.
The obstacle course stuff is like you have to be like the guys that take it serious.
Oh, they're fit.
Yeah.
They're fit folks.
They're fit. But they're not like it.
They're not distance runners.
Well,
no.
they are.
Some of them.
Well, like Steven Richards race out there, I want no part of that. I'm like, there's no way. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
You like staying clean, staying dry. You're not big.
Yeah, I don't have any desire to go bog through a mud pit and whatever. That's
right.
I like
climb
those
a
ones.
net.
You just want to run.
I just want to run.
Yeah.
I would get very, very bored doing that. Not that I ever have to worry about doing a hundy, because I don't.
wait, probably kind of like you. I'm on my phone all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
I don't take my phone with me when I run, like 90% of the time. That's the only time I'm not. Like,
so that's
connected.
your escape.
That's like my escape, and that's how I wake up every morning. I'm an early morning runner. 4:30 a.m. out here, chugging down here on street up the high school hill. That's
Clay's
cool.
office is in there at my building.
Oh, okay. So you like to get it done prior
I get it done out of the way.
He goes in there and he showers at the office commons, and then he's ready to work.
Out to work. Yep.
Nice.
So.
Well, I mean, I dude, I congratulate you. I think that is an unbelievable human feat.
I just can't imagine like your mentality now. Like I would be, dude, I'd be just walking in places.
Well,
like
yeah. No,
I just ran 100 miles.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, let's go back a little bit here, and why you earned that ability to throw your chest out. I mean, I want to talk a little bit about like at what mile marker, or maybe it was when you took your nap. I don't know. Did you have the internal battle that said, "Hey, dude, you could probably just quit"?
Yeah. When did you
now.
think you could quit?
Or like
Mile
60. When I started really struggling, that's when I started throwing up and stuff like that. Like
And
mile
you're-
60.
and you're thinking about the car coming up.
That's all I was thinking about. Get me to the car, then we'll talk about this.
It was up in the air at that
It was
point.
up in the air.
Yeah,
it was up in the air. I thought, and that's what surprised Andy and Matt when I met them. They thought I just went to sleep in the car. And they didn't. Because Andy said, "Text me when you head out."
What was Jenkins going to do if you hadn't come?
Well, that's what they were having a discussion about, because Andy's car was like 5 miles away. He was going to walk with. He's like, I don't know what Matt's going to do the other 10 miles back, heading back by himself, because his headlamp was about dead. And he's like, he didn't know what he's going to do. So it just so happened that the timing just worked out perfectly.
Yeah, okay. And then you guys just were like, but still, like, I don't care. You're walking, running, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, from that age, I mean, there had to be a time there where you had to have kind of that perseverance or grit or whatever you want to call it.
Mile 60 was bad. When did it flip?
Yeah.
So when I got back out, and as soon as I hit that trail or hit the road to take back off,
You
head
felt
north.
like,
And it's kind of where you get in one of those zones. Like, so what I was doing at that point was I was running a half mile and walking a half mile.
Okay.
So I'd run a half, walk a half.
you figure you're going to do this 30 times.
That's what I kept saying. 30
Is
times,
that right? You're like
29
counting down,
times,
counting
28
down.
times.
Yeah.
And I just kept my head. I wasn't even looking anything around me. Just kept my head down. As soon as I seen my watch hit half mile, I didn't care if I was on a hill or uphill, downhill. I just started running until I seen it clip over for the next mile. I'm like, all right, stop and walk. And then that's all I was paying attention to, was watching my watch.
And was that starting to feel pretty good?
That's where I got like in that zone. I was just like in the zone, just watching my watch.
What watch do you have?
A Garmin 235.
So did it stay charged, or did you
No,
have
it
in the
didn't.
car?
It didn't. So I had one of those little fuel cell chargers, and so my time.
Were you packing all this shit in your pockets?
Yeah, and so those drop bags too. So I would drop something off in a drop bag, pick something else up in a drop bag. So my watch actually died, and so we used Jenkins' watch because we figured at the end of the day it all equaled out, because we started together, we ended together. What happened in the middle is irrelevant at that point in time.
You got there.
Yeah.
So my watch died. He's got a Coros watch. It had a little longer battery life.
Now what? All right. So these drop bags. Did you have to go back Sunday and get all
No,
those?
they bring them. They already had them there at the finish line.
Oh, okay.
So they're there ready for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, here you guys. You're at mile 85. You see each other, and did you guys kind of help each other then get to the end?
Yeah, that was
kinda
back and forth, back and forth.
Then it's kind of like, okay, all right,
Yeah.
now we're in it.
Yeah.
Now we're going to do it.
And then we knew.
Man, that has to forge a little bit of bond between
does.
you and Matt.
It
Not
does.
to sound weird or something, but I mean, you guys did something together that's like,
Oh yeah, I mean it was all about
not
encouraging
like
each
humans.
other.
I'm just going to run 100 miles.
Oh, I know a shit ton of people. It's the only two I know.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But yeah, it was a lot of encouraging each other. Just kind of just, all right, we got this, dude. We got this.
Yeah. I mean, because you're tired. Mm-hmm. So did Jenkins ever take a nap?
No, he stayed the whole way. He went the whole
What
way.
did it feel like crossing the finish line, man?
It was pretty fulfilling.
Did you cry?
It had to be.
I didn't. I mean, I kind of got a little choked up. I was like, man, I really did this. Like that's when it starts to sink. Like, man, you just ran freaking 100 miles.
Yeah, yeah,
Holy
man.
cow.
Yeah,
You know?
you've been moving and running for 26 hours straight.
Yeah.
I mean, my God.
So, because then you think about, like, as we're walking, you see that video as we're walking through the parking lot to the finish line. I start thinking about all those freaking 4:30 a.m. runs.
Yeah.
Spending all Saturday over on the Athens Bike Trail, or going through Jackson, every single street in Jackson, all the training, all the work, and then you're like, right here it is. We got it.
We did it.
And that's where it's at.
Man,
Well, nobody can ever take that away from you, man.
And the cool thing is, I brought this little memento.
I want to see it. I've seen a picture of this.
So and like when you're on those 5Ks and stuff, they give you a medal.
Right.
But in ultra marathoning, they give you a belt buckle. Just like
cool,
you
like
get
a rodeo,
like a rodeo, bud.
Ran 100 miles for a belt buckle.
Yep, 100 miles for a belt
cool.
buckle.
That ain't no different than horse business. I probably had $50,000.
Boy, I'll tell you what,
buckle.
I'd have that thing right there on a belt.
Today.
And my ass would be wearing it everywhere. I mean, I'd show up at my next appointment, and they'd be like, "Hey, what's the Canal 100?" Oh, I'm glad you asked.
Grab a seat. Grab a seat.
Yeah.
Yep, and the T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you ever going to wear that?
I'm actually going to put it in a. I'm going to take a T-shirt and like the medal or and that in the bib plug in the shadow.
That'll be
shadow
awesome.
box.
Yeah. Make a memento out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So did Goggins and Cam Hanes inspire this?
I actually thought about, because that's what I was thinking about when I was going.
They do that every weekend.
Well, because when Goggins did his first 100 miler, he struggled through it. He barely made his first 100 miler. It took him over 20 hours.
Did it?
And I'm like, if Goggins can do this, I can do this. Look at that.
You watch him, David Goggins?
Oh yeah, guy's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. He scares me.
Yeah, me too. I love those. I love those little videos he does.
Yeah.
Well, so I made him a bitch.
Yeah, I don't like that guy. I'm scared of him. I like listening to him.
It's like, I saw a little bit of fear. You know what I did that fear?
Yeah.
Like any other person would do. I made him a bitch. And I was like, my God. Yeah, this guy.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty elite club you guys just joined.
I feel like it.
And now, I mean, you're how many days removed? It's Thursday. You're not yet really a week.
Not a week
out.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're here. You're fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
made it.
But you don't.
I was
feel,
worried they wouldn't be like Jenkins. I texted him. I was worried that he wasn't going to be.
Well,
fine.
I mean, I just can't imagine the recovery. Like, are your feet still swollen, or your
feet and legs are still swollen. Still have some blisters draining out in the feet and stuff like that.
Okay.
Did you do anything like diet wise up to this? Like, were you trying to pack on weight? Were you trying to
mostly just hydrating, drinking?
So, but I mean, are you worried about your muscles and stuff, Clay? I mean,
no, not really. Right now, I feel pretty good.
I mean, you're probably. I mean, is it fair to say you're probably in the best shape of your life? I mean, you just ran 100 miles.
I'd say
you
close.
look good.
I'd say close.
Yeah,
I'd say close.
Yeah.
I like the M&Ms too much, but that's got me down a little bit. But you know what? It's all right.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, man. Thanks for sharing the story. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
I mean, that is.
I just can't believe it. I still can't.
I can't either. And I mean, to Matt as well.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, maybe the two of you can join us on here after you run it next year, because it sounds to me like you two are hopeless. You're going to do it again.
There might be a good chance.
Yeah, I can tell.
I figured they'd start slowing down.
You probably bring two more guys with you.
They're older than me, and they just isn't it amazing though what the human body can physically do?
Yeah,
it's more like when people say they can't, it's more of a mental thing.
This was all mental. It's all mental.
What I think is funny is, all right, so these guys have just run 100 miles. Like, if that's me, like, what the hell else would I ever need to do? I'm good as far as that. I will not run 100 miles for the rest of my fucking life.
Ever.
I mean, yeah. I mean, these guys did it, and now I guarantee you, the two of you and maybe two more guys like Hose Apple, you think he's going to sit out another 8?
No, he won't let that happen. He won't let that happen.
And
next
you
year.
won't let him run it without you.
What about Bob Irvin?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Man, he's setting records like on 5Ks and stuff.
I bet you guys will probably do it again. I mean, certainly I don't know why, but you probably will, or you'll find something else, because I think that once you get there in your head, you're like, well, hell, I can do it.
I think next one would be more of a 100-mile trail race. Do it on the trails.
Oh, yeah, because this last one was too easy.
The last one was too flat and too easy. Let's go ahead and let's hit the tree roots.
Get some elevation. We're going to Denver to run it. Where we can't breathe. Yeah. We're going to fly out to Denver in the high altitude where nobody can breathe.
How have you not got Richards into this? This is right up his savage alley.
It is. I think he likes the obstacle. I think he's into the biking.
Okay.
He's into all the other stuff.
He's been biking with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's a savage. He's probably one of the biggest savages.
he's a fit guy.
Well, he doesn't care. Like if it was like me and a copperhead, I hope Richards is there because I feel like he'd just grab it.
Just grab it and bite its
Or
head
tame
off.
it.
Yeah.
You know, like he's just that guy.
Or just pick it up and move it. you know.
Yeah, I never knew this until I started going out there to the order. You know, I knew Steven Richards did. It's like, oh, that's Steven Richards. You know.
Yeah.
So, what do you think's next? You're going to do this marathon and then see what happens.
Training for the buck 50.
Training for the buck 50.
Yeah.
Man, the time that you put in on this, Clay.
But you're running anyway, though, right?
Yeah, I'm running anyway.
Well, that's my point. I'm just saying. I mean, you know, you're. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff to do. You can play guitar, keyboard,
drums.
Drums. Yeah. You're a drummer. Yeah, you can do any of that stuff.
Well, you make time for your passion, so man.
Yeah.
You know,
But man, 8 hours a day.
Well,
that's
the problem
only on
You're passionate about
only
football.
on Saturdays.
So
Well,
if you think-
do 8 hours on you know, you kind of do that.
A week. Yeah.
Well, your game day, you know, if you really really looked at start to finish on what section of the day that blocks out.
Right. Much smaller passion though for me now. That's more of like, you know, for the boy. That kind of stuff. I mean,
Your passions is fatherhood.
Yeah, that's definitely one of them. And then like, man, my work, I still get charged up, dude. I mean, like I get fired up.
And well, your kid's about raised, almost, right?
12-year-old and 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh man, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're kind of you can at least go do your thing a little bit.
Well, see, that's what I like about. That's why I always run early. So,
You've
You got the
always
rest of the
ran
day.
early.
You got the rest of the
What
day.
time you go to bed?
10.
I wish I could.
See,
do
remember
that.
Richards? He said he's a 9 o'clock guy.
I would be 9 o'clock if I could. So 10 a.m. Get up at 3:50 a.m.
So you need
10
about good
pieces.
6.
Yeah.
So if I get 6, I'm good. But man, I don't go to bed till I don't roll out of bed till about 7:30, 8 o'clock. But you know, I'm a 2 a.m. guy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
like,
I can't. So I'm usually up, have a 8-mile run in, and then Marion by 8 a.m. That's typically what.
to drive there.
And drive up to Marion.
Yeah. Hey, man. Some guys are
But that's just what I do. So when I get home, like I said,
I
my
feel
house,
like the laziest son of a bitch.
like my house, 9:30 a.m. the lights are out. Like everybody,
9:30 p.m.
9:30 p.m. Like everybody,
Yeah, that's good.
do whatever you want to do. I'm hitting the sack.
9:30, we're out.
Better be quiet.
Yeah, I'm going up, start getting ready for bed, sleep by 10.
Yeah.
Man,
Well, I'll tell you,
hats
Clay,
off to you, Clay. Good job.
Thanks
man.
for coming.
Good job, man.
Thanks for coming and sharing with us, man. That was
Yeah.
fun, and we can't wait to hear about the next one.
Yeah, we're gonna do it again. You gonna come back on?
I'll come, definitely.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you very much.
Guys,
What a great story.
smash
for having
that subscribe button.
Yeah,
On the
absolutely.
Chubby Bartenders YouTube or whatever, even if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, hit the like, the heart, whatever. Hit all that stuff. Give us a like and subscribe. Talk to us in the comments. Ask questions, whatever you need to do. Clay, they don't really need to look you up, though, do they?
No,
No.
nothing exciting there.
Nothing exciting there.
We can't run 100 miles, but we can talk
Yeah.
100 miles. We talked about 100 miles.
All right, guys. See you next week. Like and subscribe.
Take care.
See you.